Alright, so this is a video on how to multiply with using algebraic fractions. Okay, so we are going to start off just with a brief overview of how to normally multiply fractions, and then I'll talk about how we want to multiply algebraic fractions. They work in the same way. Okay, so if you remember from, I don't know when, 6th grade, 5th grade, sometime, when you learned how to multiply fractions, you learned that you need to multiply straight across. Okay, so when we are multiplying fractions, I'm going to multiply this 1 times the 5. I'm going to multiply the 3 times the 2. It's pretty straightforward. So we're going to say that 1/3 times 5 over 2 is equal to 1 times 5 in the numerator. So you multiply the numerators, which is 5. And then you're going to multiply the denominators. So 3 times 2 is 6. So 1/3 times 5 over 2 is 5 over 6. Straight across, it should be pretty straightforward. Now, to multiply with fractions, or with algebraic fractions at least, we're going to follow the same process. I know that you guys might get confused by the x, but don't be, because it's really functioning in the same way. So if I have 2x over 3 times, let's say 4 over 2, I can do the same thing, the same exact thing, to multiply this out. It's a little bit crazier in your heads maybe with this x here. Same process. I'm going to look at my numerators. 2x times 4. I'm going to multiply them together. 2x times 4 is 8x. And then 3 times 2 is going to be 6. So you get 8x over 6. And then if we simplify this, I end up with 4x over 3. Because 2 is the greatest, or is the greatest common factor of both of them, so I can pull it out. You could have also noticed that this 2 here and this 2 here would cancel out already, so you would have ended up with x times 4, so 4x over 3. Okay, so over here are some problems that I would like you guys to do using the same exact concepts to just practice with multiplying algebraic fractions. So take a moment, pause the video, and then when you're ready, when you work through each problem, if you want to do them one by one or all at the same time, I will give you guys the answers. Okay, so hopefully you've worked through at least one of the problems. Maybe you've worked through all of them already, so I'm going to go over these. So just like we were talking about, here I'm going to multiply my numerators and my denominator. You might be wondering, where's this 3? Where's the numerator, the denominator here? You can always remember that a whole number really has 1 in the denominator. So you can mark that there if you'd like. You don't have to if you are confident in doing that. So I'm going to multiply my numerators together. I'm going to get 3 times x plus 2. I'm going to multiply my denominators together. 1 times 6 is 6. You can either, you have two choices here, you can distribute the 3 to both these numbers and end up with 3x plus 6 on the top. What I'm going to do is see that 3 over 6 is the same as 1 over 2. So I'm going to simplify this, and I'm just going to say that it's x plus 2 over 2. Okay, so this would be my final answer, the most simplified answer. So get in the habit of trying to see if we can cancel out anything from the top or the bottom, because it'll make your numbers a lot easier to work with. For this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to multiply my numerators. I'm going to multiply my denominators. So I'm going to do 2 times 10 minus x. It's 2 times 10 minus x. And then 5 times 3 is 15. Here, since we can't really simplify 2 over 15 anymore, you can just go and distribute the 2 to the 10 and the negative x. So you end up with 20 minus 2x over 15. So either one of these is fine. I personally would probably keep it like this, but if you prefer this better, go ahead. It's the same answer. Okay. Finally, I have this situation. This is a problem that has an algebraic fraction here and here. Previously, we only had it in one spot. So here I'm going to, again, multiply my numerators. So 2x squared times 5 is equal to 10x squared. and then 3 times x is 3x. I have 3 x's. Now, just like we did in the first problem, we're going to look for things that we can cancel out. I can see right away that x is here and here. So I'm going to cancel this x out, and I'm going to get rid of the 2, so I'm left with 10x over 3. Okay? So that would be your final simplified answer. Hopefully you guys can build up some confidence in how to multiply algebraic fractions so that later in the year they're not so intimidating. I'm going to do a video on dividing with algebraic fractions. So thank you for watching this. Hopefully your answers lined up with mine, and we can keep on working on fractions.